great day. We had an awesome webinar today, guys. We just finished up an awesome webinar, 0 to 6 figures. We had a lot of the top digital marketers in our community that were explaining how they have gone from zero, from nothing to 6 figures in various amounts of time. They all have had different amounts of success in their businesses, but all of them within the last 2 years. A lot of them within the last year, within the last 6 months. So if you would like the replay for our 0 to 6 figure webinar that just finished, then go to wealthbuildermastery.com, wealthbuildermastery.com, put your email in, put replay here while I'm talking. And you're still going to have to go to the website though to get the replay tomorrow. So I was super excited to do a little post about that just now. Maybe you just saw it. And today, we're actually going to talk about something fairly tough today. Fairly tough, like a harsh truth, because, it makes me really, really sad when people have an opportunity. And I hate that word because it's misused so much. But when people have all the tools available to them and they don't know how to use them. Maybe they just don't know what they don't know. Maybe they don't even know that they're stuck. And it's just so difficult for someone that knows what they should do, but can't force somebody to do something. So has that ever happened to you? Like maybe you've loaned somebody some money and you've loaned somebody, you help somebody out, and then it didn't really change their situation. They just kind of stayed in the same place and you watch them staying in the same place. Or maybe it's been you and you've asked for someone to bail you out. You have consistently thought that a job would be your saving grace, that the next job would be the thing, or the next MLM would be the thing that saved you. And I'm just here to tell you that no one's coming to save you. No one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. And when I finally woke up to this, it's a little emotional. When I finally woke up to this and realized that I had to save myself, that I had to take responsibility for the life I had created, the results I had created, the bad relationships I had created, the situations in the relationships I didn't like. I had to take full and complete responsibility for that because I had attracted it. No matter how bad it was, I allowed it to happen to me. And when I finally took that responsibility and started realizing that my thoughts, my actions, my mindset, my beliefs create the results in my life, then things in my life started to change as I started to have and create new habits that would help me create the new results I wanted in my life. Then things started to change. So that's the harsh truth about it. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But first, I want to know who's here, who's coming in, where you're coming in from, and give you a little bit of a preview of that. Because you guys, I have a friend that is stuck in this place. And if she's on here, I don't think she is. I don't think she's going to see this. But it's just so hard. It's so hard to see her in this place and thinking that something or some situation is going to come save her. And if I was to tell her that that's what she's thinking and that's what she's believing, she would deny it because she's kind of stuck. She's not seeing it. She can't see through the fog. So have you been there? Do you know somebody that's there? And I had to be like kind of shook, kind of woken up to that within myself. A friend of mine said, that you will only change if you're in enough pain or if you have enough desire, if you have enough love, if you have something you really want. And usually it's because we're in enough pain. You just saw that I just kind of got a little verklempt thinking about where I was at and having to take that responsibility for my life. It still gets me, that situation I was in that I felt a victim to. but I was only a victim to my own thinking, my own beliefs. And I had complete control to change my thoughts and my situation, but I didn't know it. I didn't know what I didn't know. And so you're probably thinking, what the heck is she talking about? But I'm talking about learning to earn extra income online with digital marketing. But you guys, it's personal development. If you are in a situation around not having enough for a particular and that's a pattern for you, then there is something you need to change in your thought process, in your habits. And we need to dig it out so that you can change, so that you can have a different result, right? So I'm from Arizona. Where are you coming in from? Tap the screen to let more people know that we're here, that we're talking about an amazing subject today, and share with your friends. I am from Arizona, where it's just hot. It's over 100, and we just stay inside this time of year. I am getting out of here and going to Minnesota in a few weeks, which is where I'm from. It's hot there too, but it's humid there. Anyone from Minnesota today? There was a couple people from Minnesota yesterday on my live. Okay, thanks for joining, guys. Thanks for joining. Go to wealthbuildermastery.com if you want to get the replay from the webinar that just happened this morning. The webinar was called 0 to 6 Figures. Why do we say 0? Because most of the people, can I join the box? I don't know what the box is. Most people that start a digital marketing business don't start with nothing, start with no followers, start with nothing, and then they create that business. No, I'm not having anyone join my live if that's what you're wanting. So no guests today. No guests ever, really. No guests unless I want guests on here. So thanks anyway. So we're talking about digital marketing today. We're talking about what is keeping you stuck? What is keeping you from the life that you want, from the income that you want? And I'm here to tell you it's probably you. It's probably you. And you just can't see it yet. And so you need to have a mentor. You need to have a coach. You know, I'm not necessarily your mentor in the business, but I am a mentor. I am a coach. And I mentor people through my lives, even with the harsh topic that we are on today. My mentor in digital marketing is amazing. And the last few days, she has, I was just getting a call. She has brought up my other mentor, my mindset mentor, Bob Proctor, and she's been giving videos from my mentor, Bob Proctor, who passed away a few years ago. Who knows Bob here? Are you a Bob Proctor fan? Put Bob in the chat. Thank you so much. And so my two mentors have collided. And it's been so great to hear people having these realizations and these wake-ups around how they're creating the situation in with their income, with what they have, and that they can change that by how they're thinking, by how they're acting, what they're believing, changing the conditioning of their mind, the mindset process, and believing and focusing on. Now, I met with Bob Proctor. I was lucky, but I put myself in the position. I knew I wanted to study with him. I knew I had to be in a position to work with him. And I went to this amazing training it was just 16 people. And I sat in a hot seat with Bob. And you know what he said to me in that hot seat was, the only reason you haven't earned what you want to earn yet is you never focused on it. You focused on being a chiropractor. You focused on being a healer. You focused on whatever else you were focused on in helping people to have health. You weren't focused on the income that you wanted or the finances that you wanted to achieve during that time. Now, I could have done both, but I didn't know that I needed to focus on and keep my mindset there. He talks a lot about having a goal card. I probably have one here somewhere. Yes, I do. He talks about having a goal card. Let me just grab one that looks better. Oh, shoot. Well, I can show you this one. You can't really read it. A goal card. He talks about having a goal card. This is an old one. This is from 2022. This is what I wanted in 2022. And he talks about having this goal card with him every single day in his pocket to remind him of what he's going for, what he wants. So if you don't have a goal, something that's big enough for you to grow and something you're focused on every single day, you will stay stuck in thinking about today. And when you're stuck in thinking about today, you're going to create the same day over and over again. That's called Groundhog's Day. If you ever saw that movie, that person lives that day every single day over and over again. So if you're focused on the current situation in your accounts, in your financial accounts, then you're going to keep creating that situation in them. You want to focus on for the amount that you want to bring in this month, the amount that you want to change to have coming regularly per month, and the amount you want to have come in by the end of the year. You want to set yourself up for a financial goal that is not only stretches you, but you can create it. You want to be able to have those solutions to create it. So who here is a fan of Bob? Put it Bob in the chat. I don't know if there's been any, I get on a roll and then I don't really see what you say. So if you have questions about digital marketing, how to get started, learning to earning extra income online, then just put them in the chat. Go to wealthbuildermastery.com. You'll get all the information you need. And tomorrow I'll send out the replay of the webinar we just had today, 0 to 6 figures. A lot of our top digital marketers in our community were sharing their stories today. So you get to hear from real people that have had real results in the last couple of years with digital marketing. So how did I get into digital marketing? Last year, I was stressed out, struggling, and just getting by. I had a chiropractic career that I left about 8 years ago, maybe even 8 to 10 now. 8 years ago, I was doing that for 20 plus years. And then I knew I didn't want to do the physical labor of that anymore. So I started training with Bob Proctor. I started training with mindset coaches to learn how to become a coach of the mind, because I knew that stress and mindset caused health problems. So I was still kind of in the same field, but I moved into coaching from being a chiropractor. My previous career was in textiles, clothing, and fashion and style. So when I started coaching around mindset. I developed my own program around self-image, confidence, and style, how you show up and, how that influences your success and things like that. And then my coaching business kind of went on a roller coaster last year. I wasn't in control of my clients' situations, so they wouldn't pay me or they would stop paying me, and I still had expenses. And so I knew I needed an extra stream of income, and I didn't want something that would where I would trade my time for the income. I wanted to have something that was more passively coming in 24/7, a recurring income stream. But I always thought that would cost a lot to get into. And so a fellow coach friend of mine was doing something, and I started paying attention to something she was doing where she was earning extra income. I thought it was MLM, so I never asked her. I didn't want to do network marketing again. It never worked for me. I loved the products that I sold during network marketing, but the system just never earned me income. So I didn't want to do that again. But finally, after 5 months of watching her earn extra income, I asked her, what the heck are you doing? And she said it was digital marketing. And I just didn't have a place to wrap my head around that. I didn't think at the time, I didn't know what I didn't know. And so I didn't know anything about digital marketing. So I had to educate myself. First off, I was skeptical. I thought it sounds too good to be true. How could you make 100% profit? Nobody ever makes 100% profit, and I had all these questions and skepticism about it until I started to learn. She actually sent me to a webinar like the webinar we had this morning, and I started to educate myself about digital marketing. I had been a coach already for 8 years, and I spent thousands and thousands of dollars on learning to promote my coaching business online. So I already had some skills, but I didn't really know all of the details about all the social media platforms, all what was happening. And I didn't know that digital marketing was one of the fastest growing businesses right now. It's been growing and growing and growing since pre-COVID. Pre-COVID, it was $950 million a year business, 2019. Now, last year it was $1 billion a day business, $1 billion a day business. So it's grown that much. Thanks so much for being on. Thanks so much for joining, guys. $1 billion a day. And then this year it's growing like 1.2, $1.3 billion a day. It's just projected to keep growing. Why is that? Because every single business, brick and mortar, coaching business, any business today has to be on social channels, has to market digitally because the world is going digital. How many times do you buy something online? Do you ever call that company and talk to somebody? No, you just go online and purchase. Everything is digital. Everything can be digital. I don't think you would actually have to go to a brick and mortar store anymore. You could get everything delivered to your front door. You know, one of the things I don't like is when the delivery actually goes to my mailbox, and I live in a condo, so the mailboxes I have to walk to, and I'm like, oh, they couldn't deliver it to my front door. They had to put it in the mailbox, so I have to go and get it at a time that my mail isn't there even. So it's one of my little pet peeves. If I'm going to ask for it to be delivered to my front door, I want it to come to my front door. Anybody else feel that way? So that's a side note. But we are living in a digital world. It's just getting more and more digital. So that's why in a business, when you want a business or want an online business, you want to have a program, product, or service that is in high demand. So because digital marketing has grown so much in the last 5 years, we know it's in high demand and we know it keeps growing. And there's probably a piece of that pie for us, right? So how can we get a piece of that pie? Thanks for coming in, guys. Thanks for joining. Let me know where you're coming in from. My goal is to have every state here, several countries here during one of my lives. So I love to find out where you're coming in from. And do you have an interest in earning extra income online? Have you already started doing that? Or is it completely foreign to you? Let me know where you're at, and so I know who's in here. So thanks so much, guys, for following me. I appreciate it. So where was I at with that? So my friend said it was digital marketing. I had invested in enough things that I knew that this smaller investment that I could do it. And if I somehow lost out, it would be okay. I was willing to take the risk. But I didn't have the money to get started. And my friend said she had installment plans. So I had to wait 2 days till I got a PAI deed from my part-time job. And then I got started on an installment plan. Within 2 weeks, I had doubled my investment and I only made one installment. So that got me pretty excited. So then I just continued to grow from then on. And I have to say, I'm not going to say that it just skyrocketed my income, but it has been consistent, and it's been consistently inconsistent. You can say that. It goes in spurts somewhat. So there is a process of learning. There's a process of educating yourself on how to run an online business. And the only thing I can say is that you will continue to learn the entire time. While you're learning, though, you're going to earn. And that's a great thing. So I started learning to earn online through this digital marketing system. And my skepticism went away as soon as I started earning money because it was working for me, right? So any questions here? Let me regroup a little bit. I started to talk sorry, my eyes are like watering. I started to talk about this harsh truth that you are the only one that can save yourself because of a friend of mine that is really stuck. And she's stuck in the excuses. So let's think about some of the excuses that you might have. I'm too old. Well, age is never a good excuse. No one is ever too old to do anything except for if it's like a physical thing, but people have proven that wrong as well. I'm too old. I'm like a certain sex. People aren't going to want to hire me. Like if you're saying people aren't going to want to hire me, then you're hanging your hat on being hired. You're hanging your hat on having a job. So what are you waiting for? Who are you waiting for to save you? I used to have a pattern of having my dad save me. My dad always saved me until he didn't anymore. And that, I'm telling you, that was painful. Um, I started going to therapy, and my mom and dad went with me a few times, and they picked up on this word enabling. So they figured out they were enabling me by giving me what I needed when I needed it financially. And so they stopped. I was like, oh man, that was bad. I had to really suck it up then. I don't know if I can use that word here. I had to really get it together then, because that person wasn't going to save me anymore. Is there a person that you're relying on to save you consciously or unconsciously? Maybe you have an inheritance that you're expecting. Maybe you have something else, investment that you're expecting to save you, and maybe it won't. Like a lot of people got stuck with that with their investments, that their investments went away because of the stock market or whatever happened or whatever situation that was, and that's not there to save them. So I think it's really great, and we get kind of stuck into the JOB saving, the safety and the security of a JOB, but a lot of people are just getting let go these days. So I have a friend in this business that last year she had started this business. So she had this backup in digital marketing that she had started. Then in the beginning of this year, her company let her go after like 20 plus years. But she had this started already. She had this backup. And as soon as she was able to put 100% into her backup plan started soaring. So she didn't really even need her job. She was kind of relying on it and kind of hanging out there for the safety and the security of it. Have you guys ever felt that? Put a thumbs up in the chat or something to let me know you're listening. I was looking on YouTube to see if we got anything. All right. No. I got to plug my phone in. I have it right here. I just forgot to plug it in. All right. So guys, plugging that in. Okay. So that's kind of the main thing I wanted to talk about today, is that harsh thing of the realization that you've got to save yourself. You've got to give yourself the opportunity to have a backup plan for your finances. This is a great backup plan, you guys. There's only 2 hours a day that you work. I fit it into my pockets of my life. I fit it into pre-going to my part-time job, around my coaching business. So I fit it in. I'm not a mom right now. I'm a cat mom. So actually I do try to do my lives when my cats are sleeping, because otherwise they'll come in here and bug me. And my cat was just out at the door. He's probably sleeping at the door. I didn't open it, and either he went away or he's sleeping. Usually he'll scratch until I get it open. So I'm a cat mom. So I work around my cat schedule, which sounds funny, but they'll bug me if they're not sleeping. So some people will work around their kids' schedule when their kids are taking naps or when their kids are sleeping. Some people will do posts. I just heard this from one of our six-figure mentors. Oh, hi, Chuck. Good to see you. I heard this from one of our six-figure mentors that she posts during the line where you're waiting for your kid to pick up your kids. I will post out in my car before I'm leaving for work. And now it's harder because it's so hot out. I have to start the car, cool down the car, and then I have to stop the car to do the video, and then I have to start it up to cool down again. So good to see you, Chuck. I saw you started doing lives. I hope they're going well. So that's it's an easy business to fit into the pockets of your life. That's what I'm saying about that. It's a low investment. It's no monthly fees. We have, what is it? So we have 4. I have to keep an eye on the time because I'm later than I expected to go on, but I'm still good. So we have 4 different programs that teach digital marketing. So I wrapped my head around digital marketing when I remembered that as a chiropractor, I would go I would take an online course. I would sign up for an online course, pay the guy, take the course, and then I would be able to get continuing education credits by taking that course. So how many of you have taken courses online before? During COVID, a lot of people took courses to learn new skills because they didn't know what it was going to be like going back out into the workforce after COVID. So people started learning to have online businesses during that time as well. So that's why it grew so much. So digital marketing is in the e-learning industry. It's really important to remember that. It's e-learning. So we have 4 different programs that teach people how to have a successful marketing of their program, product, or service, to become highly skilled at marketing their program, product, or services. And you learn as you go. You learn and earn as you go. Or if you have your own brick and mortar business, you can use all the systems that we use for that business. You could hire somebody in your staff just to do the digital marketing, just to do the marketing for your business, and they could learn how to market on all channels. If you don't have a business and you want a business online, then this is the perfect thing to learn how to market across all channels, right? And I did a lot of classes, spent thousands of dollars learning how to market my coaching business, but I was only learning one system. I was spending thousands learning one system. They didn't teach me other systems. And this one you get, it's like everything you need in one box, a business in a box, a business that teaches you digital marketing skills, that helps you to have that mentorship every single day. Our mentor gives us a short video every single day. She is live on calls with us every single week. That's all free once you come into the community. And another thing about the high demand program, product, or service. So when I joined last year, end of October, our community was 1,500 people. Right now, I haven't even looked today. It's over 34,000 people in our community. That is a high in demand product, program, and service. We offer these 4 programs. So we start off with a $100 program. That program is called Launchpad. It helps you to learn what is digital marketing and how does it work and how can it work for you. Then the second one is called Passive Daily Pay Blueprint. It is $300, and that helps you learn how to earn passive income, how to focus. Remember, I said you have to focus on what you want, how to focus on $300 a day. $300 a day is $109,000 a year, and how that can help you to reach those goals. The next one is $600, and that's called Digital Mastery. Becoming masterful at marketing online, becoming masterful at digital marketing, at social media marketing, and then focusing on the $600. $600 a day is actually $219,000 a year. Then we just created a 4th program called Legacy Builder Program. That was released in April. It's done millions and millions of dollars since we released it in April, and I'm talking like 15 million probably right now, from the people that have just sold it within our community, and those people are all earning 100% profit. We get the master resale rights on all 4 products. They are my products. I sell them. I get 100%. The MONEY comes into my bank. So how does our company do that? Because they charge us a nominal fee, $29, for a completely built website, for a funnel system or an email system that runs automatically, and for the emails that go in that. So that you get everything built for you. You don't have to do any of the tech. There's so many advantages of a business of this sort, an online business. So I kind of lost track of what I was talking about. So, the Legacy Builder program was created because she wanted to give us a way to leave a legacy for our families, for building our retirement, to learn how to earn recurring income, and to actually have one of our own products, develop our own product. So it's all the 4 programs, they build on each other. Everything in the Legacy Builder program is everything else in all the other programs. So you have like a master plan when you have the Legacy Builder program. You have a master plan for your life of freedom, your life of saving yourself and really creating that recurring monthly income stream that is going to be what maybe you live off in your retirement. So if you're not set up for something like this now, then what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? So go to wealthbuildermastery.com. You will get an email from my mentor. You will get a link to go to my website. Check your spam or junk to see, it might go in there, the first email, but then you'll get emails from me that help educate you. She does videos that help educate you on what this is, what the different levels are, what exactly you get. There's details in the website. Everything you need to know is there. You will get the replay from me tonight or tomorrow, likely tomorrow. Yeah, you'll get it tomorrow because I have to go to my JOB today. So I will send out the replay from today's webinar when you go to put your email in. So you're going to get so much value in the next couple days when you just take a chance, you put your email in, and you get educated. You never know what this is going to give you. This is going to give you the possibility for a future that you can't even imagine right now. You can't even imagine right now. You can. The testimonials that you're going to hear in the replay are going to knock your socks off. I mean, they're just incredible. It's just amazing. So that's that. Any questions in the chat? Put your questions in the chat. Put replay on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube. Love to have you here. Love to see that you're here. I think that's about all I have to say. So you guys, I didn't know anything about digital marketing last year. I was really stressed out, struggling, overwhelmed, just getting by because my clients weren't paying me on time or weren't paying me at all, or I didn't know when they were going to pay me. So I had to create an extra source of income. I had to take charge of my life. I had to build that future for myself, and I had to suck it up and pull myself up by the bootstraps and say, no one's coming to save me. I have to save myself, right? If I can tell you one thing, no one's coming to save you. No one is coming to save you. You're the one that will save you. And we have complete instruction on everything you need within the community for your mindset, for your belief system, for all the training. Like I said, my mentor has been talking about my other mentor in the classes this week, and that's been really amazing. So I studied with the amazing Bob Proctor for 5 years. I have all of his books. I have all of his trainings. I train people on his things, and now my other mentor in this digital marketing business has started to talk about his information, and so that makes me feel like this is just the perfect thing. So if you feel like you're not confident and you wouldn't be able to go live or you wouldn't want to do videos, we have that for you too. We have a complete bonus called your Faceless Empire or something like that. You learn how to do faceless marketing. You learn how to do faceless marketing. You can see some of my faceless marketing in my feed, or you can see some, like it's a video with words and music. You can also see videos of me drinking coffee or something with words and music, and I'm not talking. You can see videos of me where I do talk. And you can see, I rarely do it, but you can see a picture post. I do more of my picture posts in other social media channels. But there's all different kinds of ways to promote yourself. The idea is you need to get discovered. You want to get discovered by your perfect customer. Who's your perfect customer? It's you. It's you before you got excited about this, when you were having challenges. It's you a few years ago. So you learn who your perfect customer is. You learn how to talk to your perfect customer, how to get their attention. You draw them into what you're talking about, and it's an attraction marketing thing. When you go to my website, wealthbuildermastery.com, I don't come and bug you. You just make your decision in your own time. You can ask me questions in the email. Don't message me here, or you can message me on YouTube if you want, but don't message me on TikTok because it's not as safe because you don't know if it's really me, because a lot of our channels get duplicated. And so then they try to get you for something else. So I don't do WhatsApp, and I don't do some of those currencies or anything like that. I would never try to get you into anything like that. And I have a guy that came, two truckers that came in through YouTube, and the one guy said, "Yep, she never came after me. I just made my decision on my own. I just learned from her, and then I made the decision to start." So even on other social media channels, I just put the information out. I give value to people, and then they ask me when I do what's called a call to action. You can see I say, put yes me below if you want more information. Then they ask, and then I give it to them. So I'm not after you. You make the decision in your own time. That's the beauty of this whole business too, because it's a business that runs 24/7. My email is always working for me. I have had a couple days where I've woken up to 900 in my account because people from across the pond have decided to start. So that's been those are always really good mornings. I've had a couple $1,200 days when I've been at my part-time job, which is crazy. I might say to my coworker, "Oh, I just earned another. And my coworkers are like, "What the heck are you doing?" Because at that job, it takes 2 weeks to earn that much. So if you like to change your situation and you're really ready to make that change, then I would say put your email in, because you have to be ready. You have to be ready, and you have to be willing to do whatever it takes. And I make it easy for you. I have installment plans, and we have the 4 different levels, and all of those 4 different levels have installment plans. So if you want to change, there is no reason why you couldn't. We've had people that start babysitting because they sell things on marketplaces in order to start this. I'll tell you a cool story. So one of my fellow coaches with Bob Proctor, she's from Ireland, and her story is she didn't have enough money to buy pet food. And she was really embarrassed by that. She sold her car, bought a plane ticket to go see Bob in Toronto, and didn't have the money to get back, had to earn the money in Toronto to get back. That's called burning the bridges. That's called something for the boats. What is that statement about the boat? Cutting the rope to the boat and being out there. Just, you don't have any solution but to succeed. And now that person, that coach from Ireland, is the #1 coach for Bob Proctor. It took her 8 years to become the #1 coach for Bob Proctor. 8 years, but she burned the bridges. She made a decision. She cut the rope. She left on a one-way ticket, and she had to earn in order to get back to Ireland. Pretty cool story, huh? So if you're not willing to save yourself, no one else is going to come and save you. I can't save you. I can give you information. I can encourage you. I can tell you my stories of how many times I've done that, how many times I've had to take risks without knowing what was going to come of it. And every single time I've taken a big risk, it's become the highlight of my life. And so I've learned that taking big, scary risks become the highlights of my life. And so it's not as hard to take them as much, but it's still scary. It's still hard. So if you're scared, if it feels hard, put your email in. You can email me your questions, and I'll support you in the process of your decision making. But ultimately, you're going to have to pull the trigger. Napoleon Hill, in his book, Think and Grow Rich, said he interviewed 500 of the wealthiest people in the world back in the early 1900s to write that book. And he said, the wealthy make decisions quickly, and they change their mind rarely, if at all. I'm going to say that again because it's super important. The wealthy make decisions quickly, and they change their mind rarely or at all. The people that don't, the rest of us, procrastinate, indecision, don't make decisions at all. So, great book to read, but if you take anything from this, take that. Decision is yours. When you know who you are, when you know what you want, and you know where you're going, what your goals are, then all you have to do is say, does this fit or does this not fit? If it fits, say yes. If it doesn't fit, say no, and keep going with your life. If you say yes and it doesn't turn out, just change your mind and do it over again. So thank you so much for being here today. Gave you lots to think about today. No one's coming to save you. Save yourself. Set up an extra stream of income. Learn and earn as you go. And I'd love to see you on the